Hello, concerned citizens. My name is Veronica. Welcome to Saving Gen Z. I created Gen Z to help awaken the world to the dangers facing our children. Disclaimer. This video is not meant to bully, harass, or incite violence of any kind. I am a qualified medical and therapeutic professional, but the statements made in this video are not meant to be substituted for your or your child's private physician or therapist care. The materials used in the making of this video is permitted under the Fair Use Act. Please subscribe, hit the notification bell, and share the videos. This helps promote the channel and educate the masses. Thank you, subscribers and supporters. Please help me support this channel by purchasing some merch or one of my best-selling books and become a Patreon. I hold monthly giveaways on Patreon and post bonus material. You can also follow me on Twitter. All links will be in the description box below. Now let's join together and build a better today so we can have a better tomorrow by questioning the narrative. Hello everyone, this is Veronica of Saving Gen Z. It actually took me 2.5 hours to put together this video just to get all the material out, and I hope I do a good job of it. And please share, because Gen Z, our children, our grandchildren are under attack. We're under attack. So this information needs to go out because too many people are ignorant right now, and we don't have time for this ignorance. All right? It's very obvious. Unless, I don't know, you're under some type of rock that's underneath the river, that masculinity has been under attack. So is femininity. And I will do that video later. But right now we're going to cover masculinity under attack. And I'm going to show you what is being used to social engineer our men, our boys, and ourselves into accepting what is being done to them. Okay? First, let's go here. Social engineering. What is social engineering? Social engineering is a discipline in social sciences that refers to efforts to influence particular attitudes and social behaviors on a large scale, whether by governments, media, especially media, or private groups, in order to produce desired characteristics in a target population. Who's this target population? We are. All of us. Men, women, males, females, we are the target. The 99%, we are the target. Social engineering can also be understood I can't say that word. I could never, and I actually took the class. You know what I'm saying. Physiologically, I can't say that word. Oh, God. As a deterministic phenomenon where the intentions and goals of the architects, the 1%, of the new social construct are realized. Social engineers use the scientific method to analyze and understand social systems in order to design the appropriate methods to achieve the desired results in the human subjects. Again, actually, it's less than the 1%, because I don't want anyone to think that just because you're a wealthy person, you're in that 1%, that you're part of this. It's those puppet masters, okay, that has been destroying society for God knows how long. Remember, keep in mind, the human subjects, that's us. Let's put it this way. It's like the 0.1% who's the head of this social engineering, okay? And we're all victims of it. But we don't have to be victims, because once you see what's going on, the controller, the observer is the controller. Once you see what's going on, you don't fall for the nonsense, okay? If you don't believe anything, you'll fall. If you don't believe something, you'll fall for everything, right? We'll get to this later. Okay, so what is being used to social engineer us, okay? Pop culture is being used to social engineer us. Food is being used to social engineer us. Okay, let's get to it. Oh, Jesus Christ. We'll get to that. That actually brought tears to my eyes. Okay, we're going to start with trying to understand. We're going to do soy first. Okay, the food. How is food being used to social engineer the male population? And what is it exactly doing to the male population? I know soy this is from Men's Health Magazine. Soy is being touted for a while, right? This article is 2009. Has been touted for a while as healthy, alternative to cow's milk, to animal milk, soy milk, correct? What exactly is in soy? I, as a biological female, cannot have any soy products or even chickpeas or legumes for that matter because of the estrogen effect from the soy. What is produced, the estrogen produced, the extra estrogen produced from those products. It literally will give me my period twice a month, along with a whole host of other problems. It makes fibroid tumors grow, cancer, feminine cancers, also osteoporosis. A lot of horrible side effects if you have all this extra estrogen. Ovarian cyst is a huge one. That's what it triggers in me. So let's see what it does to guys. What is soy doing to our boys? Okay, this gives an example of this guy named James Price. His breasts have been painful, swollen. It looks like as if gumballs were implanted underneath each nipple with the slightest touch triggering throbs, okay? So it talks about this guy, Price, okay? He's a retired U.S. Army intelligence officer. So he went for all these physicals and everything. Men aren't supposed to have breasts, he says. Today is a quiet Texas draw, in a quiet Texas drawl. It was like my body was feminizing. This is what this guy said in his interview. Men aren't supposed to have breasts. He says today in a quiet Texas drawl, it was like my body was feminizing. The lean, wiry man, the breast developed, stood as stark contrast to the rest of his body. But it was not his only symptom. His beard growth had slowed. He lost hair from his arms, chest, and legs. And he'd stopped waking up with morning erections, like most guys do, you know. My sexual desire disappeared, he said. I won't go into the other stuff. It's more men's stuff with the erectile dysfunction. Listen to this well, especially if you're a woman listening to this. Take a look at your man. Take a look at your son, the men in your life. If they're complaining of these issues, go open that refrigerator. What are they eating? The first three doctors Price consulted diagnosed him with gynecomastia, which is breast on men, or the abnormal enlargement of mammary glands in men. It triggers your mammary glands to enlarge it. Okay. Further tests revealed that estrogen levels in his bloodstreams were 8 times higher than the normal limits of men. 8 times higher, the estrogen in his blood. Higher even than the levels of typically seen in healthy women. Price's estrogen was so high, in fact, that the doctors were at a loss to explain it. One physician became so frustrated, he eventually accused Price of secretly taking estrogen. That's how soy can affect you, male or female. It was so high, his estrogen levels, they thought he was taking estrogen, hormones. This man was transitioning by eating, drinking a lot of soy. He thought I was a mental case, Price said, still angry as he recalls the experience. And why did the doctor think about just check your refrigerator? Because they're not trained to. They're not trained to even ask the most simplest question of what are you consuming? What are you taking into your body? Doctor scratched his head. Unfortunately, that is allopathic medicine. That is Western medicine. They take zero consideration, and I spent 16 years of it in it, so I know zero consideration what's being put into your mouth. Trust me, it's no different if you can show up with diabetes. They act like they don't even know that if you're drinking 6 cans of soda a day, it's going to throw up your blood sugar. It's just, oh, put them on an insulin pump. Give them more insulin, more insulin, more insulin. Yeah, give them Diet Coke instead of regular Coke. That's what they'll say. Trust me. Dealt with it for 16 years. Ugh, in the medical field. Okay, so homeboy was very desperate, so he made an appointment with Lieutenant Colonel Jack E. Louis, MD, Chief of Endocrinology at the San Antonio Military Medical Center. During that first meeting, neither doctor nor patient had any inkling of just how long and complex this medical mystery would prove to be. What medical mystery? It is no mystery. Wait till you see what he was eating. Louis checked for the usual suspects. Anything but food, right? Lifestyle factors known to trigger gynecomastia, like alcoholism and certain herbal ingredients like tea tree oils and lavender. With those ruled out, Dr. Louis was left with a more dreaded suspect, an estrogen secreting tumor. Still did not ask the guy what he was eating and drinking. For the next few months, Dr. Louis ran multiple tests checking price for cancer of testicles, adrenal gland, chest, and lungs. It went that far. And let me tell you, having worked in those units, the type of tests this man were going through was so exhausting, invasive, and expensive. Okay, the good news, when the final test came back negative, Price was in the clear on all fronts. Well, gee, duh. The not so good news, Dr. Louis still had no clue what was causing his patient's hormones to go haywire. But he was determined not to be the fourth doctor to leave James Price in limbo. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, in the classes that Dr. Louis teaches, and he teaches too, so you wonder what's going to come out of med school next, right? And he teaches to medical students and residents. He has long offered his advice. If you're not finding the right answers, you're not asking the right questions. Duh. Though he asked Price about his lifestyle and habits numerous times, he decided to go back once again and this time to make his questions as specific as possible. I said, let's go over your diet, meal by meal. And it only took months and all these expensive and invasive tests. And you tell me every single thing you eat and drink, he said. Sure, said Dr. Louis. I get up and usually have some cereal, I said. Do you put anything on it? He said, soy milk. And I could have given him that diagnosis for for free. Actually, I wouldn't even have charged him because I'm certified holistic and integrative health, by the way. That's why I left allopathic medicine. Price explained that he developed lactose intolerance in recent years and had switched to soy milk exclusively. It had, in fact, become one of his favorite drinks, a thirst quencher in the Texas heat. Dr. Louis suddenly felt his excitement building. And it only took how many years of medical school to figure that out. He asked Price how much soy milk on average does he drink each day. He told me probably about 3 quarts, recalls Dr. Louis, at that moment, the moment that changed everything. Over the past decade, soy foods and good health have become inextricably linked in the national consciousness. Well, gee, could it be all the advertisements saying how soy is healthy for you? Soy is a great alternative. According to national U.S. consumer attitude surveys by the United Soybean Board, yeah, who's pushing the studies? The United Soybean Board, the people producing the soy. Is anyone catching on to this social engineering thing? The people pushing the soy are the ones doing the consumer attitude surveys and the health surveys, the people pushing it. No different than Big Pharma doing their own tests and surveys saying, oh, this drug is not going to harm you, only to make billions, and then 5 years later, after how many people had killed and become addicted, to pay out, what, 20 million after they made 10 billion? According to the Soybean Board, 85% of those polled in 2008 rated soy products as healthy, a significant increase from the 59% who in 1997 thought it was the case. Many men, to be sure, are hard-pressed to explain why soy is supposed to be so healthy, but they take it on faith because it was engineered that way, that they should embrace the bean. It's something you need to train yourself to like, for the health benefits. My friend Larry and distance runner, opened recently. Tofu's the modern equivalent to cod liver oil, added another buddy Bill. 3 times a week, his wife stir fries tofu. It's this gunk she calls superfood. Okay. And these people are grateful and happy to put it in their mouths. Okay, so you got tofu, you have soybean oil, you have edamame, which is something I used to eat, and it doesn't matter if it's organic, it still has estrogen. Along with chickpeas and other legumes. Okay, tofu provides along the foundation of vegetarian diet. Tofu provides protein with little of the saturated fat and none of the moral indigestion that comes with meat. So that's what they're pushing for vegans and for vegetarians. But people are smarting up, the vegans and vegetarians. I go between both, but I never liked tofu. It was the edamame that got me, actually. It was the edamame because I hated tofu, and I did not drink soy milk because I heard about the soy, but I don't know why I thought the edamame was okay. Moreover, in the past decade, research has emerged suggesting that scarfing down soy may also play an active role in extending our lives. I wonder who the research came from. Could it be the same company that makes the soy products? Gee. In 1999, soy protein earned a highly coveted FDA allowed health claim. Diets that include 25 grams, about a pound of tofu a day, reduce the risk of heart disease. The opposite. Add to this the number of studies showing that soy protein might also help protect against prostate cancer, and suddenly the stuff starts looking like powerful medicine for men. Of course, most medicines have side effects, and here are the side effects, which of course none of these studies talk about. And when you consume soy protein, you're actually courting the Mr. Hyde side of 2 natural drugs. Okay. Both act so similarly to estrogen that they're known as phytoestrogen, phytoestrogen, plant-produced estrogens. The two proteins are genistein and diacene. Okay, and they're just plant estrogens. They're plant-produced estrogen. Soybeans care less about human sex characteristics. The genistein and the diastein may have evolved to act as chemical defenders against fungi and grazing animals, whatever. But when humans consume these components in high enough quantities, they may experience gender-bending nightmares like James Price's. Okay, so let's get down to it over here. Okay, the studies of the phytoestrogens in leading peer-reviewed medical journals suggest that even low doses, such as the amount in the 25-gram soy protein target cited by the FDA, have the potential to wreak hormone havoc. Ingrain this in your brain, please. Just because the FDA says it's okay, it doesn't mean so. You have to do your own research. We can't be lazy and take what these government agencies who are trying to social engineer us, we can't take them at face value because they have two faces. Okay? A whopping 35% of this is something we need to understand for babies. And I gave my babies, when I was weaning them off of breastfeeding, I didn't give them soy. I gave them the whey protein because I knew about the soy, especially for my son. Whopping 35% of bottle-fed babies in the United States receive at least some of their protein from soy. Okay? The American Academy of Pediatrics is taking steps to change this. It recommends that all infants who cannot be breastfed be given cow's milk formulas as first preferred alternatives. Healthy full-term infants should be given soy formula only when medically necessary. Okay. Well, what I use as a milk alternative now, I don't use cashew milk or almond milk or coconut milk because they have so many fillers in them. I use pea milk, pea protein milk, and it's really awesome. Organic pea protein milk. It's a great alternative. And I cut it with coconut water, organic coconut water, but you don't have to. Babies with extreme form of lactose intolerant fall into this category, but many others who suffer from colic and excessive crying are switched to soy formula despite the lack of proven benefits. Again, pea protein milk is a good alternative. Paul Cook, PhD, a reproductive biologist at the University of Illinois, had studied mice raised on enough genistein to make their blood levels comparable to those of human infants fed soy formula. Among other worrisome findings, he discovered significant shrinkage of the thymus gland. And the thymus gland is the gland located right here on your sternum, and it's what produces your white blood cells. Okay, so these children being fed these soy formulas, their immune system is being wrecked. And God forgive you. You know, I know so many parents are going to feel so guilty right now. If you have a sickly child, take a look at this. If you have a sickly child, take a look at this. And yeah, I have a granddaughter, and she was not allowed to have soy formula at all. I gave her the protein and coconut milk also, but the pea milk. I prefer that over the coconut, but she had both. But yeah, no, no soy formula for her. Yeah, because of that, because it destroys their immune system, because it shrinks their thymus. And the thymus gland is most active when you're young. I'm talking from birth up until, I think it's till 21, then it starts shrinking. It starts shrinking with puberty, actually. So that's when it's most active, producing your B lymphocytes, your immune system. The thymus, says Cook, is like the finishing school for white blood cells where they go to mature. Exactly. They'll have immature white blood cells. In fact, I want to do research on this to see, because there is a certain type of childhood leukemia, and it's due to immature white blood cells. Think about it. I got the chills thinking about it. There is and I was a pediatric nurse for many years. There is a type of leukemia, and it's due to immature white blood cells. Now I wonder, is there a connection between that and soy formula, the immature white blood cells, because that is what your thymus gland is for, to mature your white blood cells. Food for thought, no pun intended, because soy is not food. Whether the same effect occurs in human infants is difficult to say. But by 2001, study in the Journal of American Medical Association surveyed over 800 adults ages 20 to 34 who were fed either soy-based or cow-based formulas during their infancy. One of the few differences to emerge was that the group raised on the soy formula regularly used more asthma and allergy medications in adulthood. Was this just a quirk of sampling? No. Or could it be present as supple impairment of immune function? Yeah. Okay. I don't know the answer, said Cook. Of course not. He also had no freaking clue. They also had no clue that soy was causing all these other issues, right? All right, let's get down to it. Blah, blah, blah. In 2005, Israel's health ministry recommended that soy products be limited in young children and, if possible, avoid altogether in infants. In issuing such a caution, Israel joined France. Here's the whole thing. America is the largest producer of soy in America, okay? In the world. America is the largest producers of soy in the world. Let me put on the light. Got dark. Okay? Think about it. Why isn't soy outlawed, especially for infants, when their immune system is being developed, especially before puberty, when their sexual hormones are being turned on? But again, in Israel, France, New Zealand, and Australia, it's officially embracing a better safe than sorry approach to our next generation, to destroying Gen Z, okay? To literally destroying masculinity. Never mind what it's doing to the girls. Prepping them to have ovarian cysts, fibroids, endometriosis, all these other issues. Teens to 20s, full muscle fuel. Most weightlifters, whether they're dedicated competitors or occasional gym rats, understand the importance of protein, muscle building, and repair. And research has shown that the timing of when you swallow that protein is just as critical, a fact that created a market for easy-to-consume protein supplements. So that's when the whole soy protein thing, protein powders for bodybuilders and gym rats. I used to always be a gym rat. I still go to the gym. I'm not a gym rat anymore. I don't live there, but I still go, 5 times a week, if not more. So these protein supplements and protein bars, they just blew up. All right. And a lot of the guys, so the protein helped with the muscle mass, but then also they realized their testosterone levels dropping, having all these other issues, gynecomastia happening. I know, because I dated gym rats and I saw the side effects. Okay, so that's the gist of this. Just basically telling guys to stay the heck away from soy. Okay. All right. Now we're going to talk about, we're going to get to this crazy insanity in a minute. First, I want to talk about soy and infant formulas. About 25% of America, babies are fed soy infant formulas, according to the website of Dr. Sears. Let me see. Where did I want to read? 3 reasons why soy formula is so bad for babies. Okay. The trypsin inhibitors. Okay. There are proteins found in plentiful amounts in soybeans that inhibit digestion and absorption of nutrients. So the kid ends up being malnourished. Okay? They're large size and require the application of high heat for appropriate periods of time to neutralize. Okay, so that's number one. The kids end up, malnourished. Okay? The industrial process of producing soy infant formula deactivates the majority of the trypsin inhibitors. Unfortunately, some remain, and even in low amounts, have been found to prevent normal growth in rats. Given that a baby's brain growth is at its most rapid rate the first year of life, growing to about 75% of an adult's, it is 25% actual adult size at birth. Even slight retardation of growth could be devastating to this development of brain and neurons. Can we say autism, anyone? Adding on to autism, especially in boys. Remember, the soy has a more impactful effect on boys than it does on girls. Who do we see running around with autism? I used to teach religious instructions when my son was taken in New York. My kids were taking, my daughter too. I used to teach religious instruction. They gave me the toughest class nobody wanted, which was a classroom filled 12 boys, autistic, jumping all over the place. But since I have my degree in abnormal adolescent psych plus pediatric nursing, they were angels with me. I knew how to handle them, but still, if your child's having these issues, take a look. What are you feeding them? And remember, organic doesn't matter. And I want to add to this the hormones in the meats and what's going on with your fish products too. Those also. A lot of estrogen has been found in these animals, especially in the chicken. Turkey is horrible. It's worse than chicken. So you have the hormones. You have estrogen in the turkeys to make them have big breasts, turkey breast, right? And also in the beef. Makes it more fatty, makes it more tender, the extra estrogen. That's why these animals, avoid pork altogether. All these animals are being fed soy products. Remember that. You may not be ingesting it directly or drinking it directly, but you're eating it through the animal products, and so are your children. Folic acid is an organic acid which, like trypsin inhibitors, is present in large amounts in soybeans. These words. Philatasis, whatever, are present in the outer portion of all seeds and block the absorption of critical minerals like calcium, magnesium, iron, and particularly zinc. Folic acid is also extremely inhibiting to the digestive tract. So you think you're giving your kids soy and they're colicky and having digestive issues when you're actually making it worse. Unlike other seeds, soybeans have extremely high amounts of a type of folic acid. This anti-nutrient stops you from absorbing nutrients. It's particularly resistant to deactivation. I mean, what more can I say? all the trace minerals that are really, really needed, especially for brain development, is not happening. You're blocking it. It's being blocked with all these foods. Okay? Zinc is known as the intelligence mineral because it is crucial for the optimal development and function of the brain and nervous system. As a result, deficiency in this nutrient in infants at a time when the brain is growing at its most rapid rate could have lifelong implications and possible reduced IQ. Again, mental retardation, autism on the rise. Prostaglandins or isoflavins. Prostaglandins represent the most serious problem with soy infant formula. This estrogen-like compounds have the potential to disrupt the baby's hormone system for life. For life. Hence the feminization of the boys. Hence little girls by the age of 8, 7, 6, having their periods, having breast early, precipitous puberty. The same pediatrician that's looking to give your kid a shot of Lupron to stop their early puberty is the same one who told you to feed them freaking soy formula. You have to do your own research because, quite frankly, the doctors are ignorant as hell. Seriously. And the pediatric nurses who should be there, who are the ones who are supposed to teach you, are not taught this either. They go with whatever the doctor says, the majority of them. Oh, God. Toxicologists estimate that an infant exclusively fed soy formula receives the estrogenic equivalent of at least 5 birth control pills per day. Imagine that. Soy formula health problems for boys. Now this is where it gets really bad. Flooding an infant boy's bloodstream with feminine-like hormones has the potential of causing serious development problems at puberty. And I say up to puberty. Okay? It's called the feminization of our boys and men. Feminization, especially when you get them before puberty. Why do you think soy formula is being pushed so hard? During the first few months of life, a baby boy has testosterone levels that could be as high as that of an adult male. This testosterone surge readies the boy's body hormonal system for puberty, both for normal development and for sexual organs and also patterns of male behavior. So if you're flooding the boy's system with all this estrogen, 5 times is contained in birth control pills. 5 times. Okay? 5 times. You're basically castrating them via food. And of course, organic soy formula is the same damn thing. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Okay? Goat's milk, they say, is an alternative. Grass-fed raw cow milk is an alternative. But like I said, with my granddaughter, I gave her the pea milk. Okay. And you could also do homemade non-dairy formula based on homemade bone broth. But yeah, that's what's going on with that. Okay, and this is what happens. Remember, the baby, the infant boy, has as much testosterone as a grown man. It has that extra boost of testosterone as a grown man because they have to develop all their sexual organs and the characteristics of a man and to prep them for puberty. Okay, so do we really need to go through this? Okay, we know what testosterone is and what testosterone is all about. Okay, and okay, that's one way they're trying to social engineer the boys. Okay? And this is what you get. This is what you get with all that soy. This is one way of doing it. This is what you end up getting. Okay? These hairless little wonders, right? Because they have so much estrogen in them. Besides the feminine, of course, these are men in dresses, okay? The drag queens, okay? What makes them susceptible to turning out like this is their low testosterone and the high estrogen in their system. Never mind the fact that it's messing up their immune system too, causing allergies and, making them susceptible to asthma, bronchitis, and all these other things. Okay? This makes them more susceptible to gender confusion, which is part of the social engineering. Okay? And this is what you end up getting when they say that, 4,000 times on the rise of gender confused kids. Again, this is what we end up with. Okay? And look how the media is pushing it. Drag kids, which are boys, little boys, prepubescent boys, are slaying the runway, one fierce look at a time. Yeah, this is a little boy. The drag race effect. I grew up with RuPaul, watching RuPaul. These are little boys. It's a little boy. Sexualization of little boys. More sexualization. It's a 10-year-old little boy. Sexualization of little boys. It's a 10-year-old little boy. Let boys be feminine. This is the agenda to erase masculinity. Okay? It starts at birth. We'll get to that later. I cried when I first saw this. That made me, okay, here's the effects of soy and where the soy can come from, where the estrogen can come from. And the soy being fed to the cows, being fed to the chickens and the turkeys. Soy milk, the fish end up with estrogen in it. And this is what you end up. You end up with boobs as a guy, breast. You end up with a lot of fat, especially in your belly area, and a loss of muscle mass, just really soft, which is the term going around now is soy boy. And this is what meant by soy boy. Also, they develop on top of the breast, the gynecomastia, they develop hips too. And they lose their masculinity. So, they are called soy boys, and that's meant to be a very high insult, being called a soy boy. Now, here's an athlete. Not an athlete, I'm sorry. He's a pretty famous actor, Jeremy Privens. I don't watch TV, but I remember Entourage when Entourage was on. Not that I ever watched it, but my ex-husband used to watch it, was a fan. So the soy milk mistake. Okay, moob alert, meaning man boobs. Jeremy Previn has something to get off his chest. The Entourage star claims his soy milk habit gave him breast. Last year, the actor caught flack for dropping out of a Broadway play, citing mercury poisoning caused by his twice-a-day sushi consumption, which also has a lot of estrogen in it too, right? Depending on where you're getting the fish. Though his rep said Privin was kidding, could it happen? Soy mimics estrogen. LA area endocrinologist Kent Holtoff. Ken Holtoff tells Us, which is a magazine, one of celebrity magazine, large intakes can cause estrogen-related side effects, including man boobs and sadly weight gain. Yeah, you gain a lot of weight. Women too, you gain a lot of weight. See, he started getting the man boobs and he put on a ton of weight. Which, by the way, don't be sad about it. If it's happening to your kid, you can once they get off of the soy, they can, the breast will go down. The breast will go down. So we're talking about the feminization and the gender confusion. Okay. Um, and what they also, this is what happens. Yeah. Okay. These are the fierce kids, according to Vice magazine. The other one was, what it was. The Vice magazine. These are fierce drag kids. Here is a 2-year-old little boy in a crop top bra and a mini skirt. And these are his parents. This is mom, dad. This is another little boy who they put in a dress, also their other son. Photos of fabulous kids in RuPaul's drag convention. This is what they're considering a fabulous kid. And, you know, I don't see 8 and 9-year-old little girls walking around like this. Again, the feminization starts at birth with the formula. And then you keep feeding these kids all these soy. And then what do? You tell them, oh, look at this. I've been doing drag since I was 2. This is what a 10-year-old was saying. And I would take my mom's towels and bed sheets and anything I can get in my hands to turn them into savage outfits. Yes. Scary. And then they interview this child going on, talking about how he complains, how his dad would not let him have girl toys. Again, look at this. The sexualization of little boys. This is an 11-year-old boy. This 9-year-old baby right here. I've never worn this much makeup and I used to model. I never have worn this much makeup. It's a 9-year-old boy, 10-year-old boy. Yes, 10-year-old boy. And here are these parents who decided they're going to do this to their baby because they think they're so cool. They think they're so cool. Now, look at this. Tell me this is not sexualization. This is a little boy, a 9-year-old. Tell me this is not sexualization of a child. And here are the parents. It looks like he has a lot of soy. Look what they did to their sons. Yeah. Look at this poor child. Well, this is a little girl, Chelsea. Their son, Austin, right here. Yeah. This is a horrible social experiment. And why are they doing this? Pray tell. Why? Why are the 0.1% doing this social engineering horrible experiment? And here's another thing that they like to do and pull is to add on top of the feminization of men and trying to castrate men literally in every way possible, the male, and make it seem like it's horrible to be a man. In order to have better control of the society, what are men known for? What are men known for usually, right? Strong dads. Men are known for this. The kids don't play with mom like this, okay? Not really. Kids do not play with mom like this. Nothing, I have to say, nothing's a bigger turn on to a woman. This is not it. This is not it. This is it. To see the father of their children with their kids like this, being that protective dad, roughhousing with the kids. According to Gillette and these newfound feminists that's being pushed, the propaganda being pushed against men and fathers is that this is somehow toxic masculinity, which must be crushed because this is what is going to be acceptable. What do they call it? They call it the new masculinity. For those who don't know, there's Pharrell. He used to be one of my favorite rappers. Had a mad crush on Pharrell when Pharrell was, God knows, no. Where is he? Yeah, when that was Pharrell. He's a skater. He's also like a BMX biker, was. Okay. So that was Pharrell. Now, this is Pharrell. Latest issue of GQ magazine. This is Pharrell now. The new masculinity. Because for some reason, this is being shown as toxic. And I'm sure a lot of people have seen this commercial, an attempt to castrate men and make natural male behavior to brandish it as toxic. This is not even the worst one. There was another one, but I couldn't find it. That Gillette actually removed it. But this is one to make men feel horrible about themselves. Listen up.
Bullying. The Me Too movement against sexual harassment.
Masculinity.
Is this the best a man can get? Is it? We can't hide from it.
Sexual harassment is taking over.
It's been going on far too long. We can't laugh it off.
Who's the daddy?
What I actually think she's trying to say.
Making the same old excuses.
Boys will be boys. Boys will be boys. Boys will be boys.
But something finally changed.
Allegations regarding sexual assault and sexual harassment.
But she says he's
And there will be no going back. Because we believe in the best in men.
Men need to hold other men accountable.
Smile, sweetie. Come on.
To say the right thing. To act
Oh,
the
God.
right way.
Makes me sick.
Not cool. Not cool.
Some already are. In ways big
Yo, men.
and small.
I am strong.
But some is not enough.
That's not how we treat each other, okay? Okay.
Because the boys watching today will be the men of tomorrow.
And what is the man of tomorrow that they're trying to push? Snoop Dogg. This is the man of tomorrow they're trying to push. And they take people's quote unquote idols. Everybody knows from my generation, Gen X, who grew up watching Snoop, okay, to the kids now, to Gen Z. Gen Z know who Snoop Dogg is. And here you have Snoop Dogg in French tips. Here you have Snoop Dogg in French tips. Add that on to all the estrogen they're feeding the kids. Now they're taking people that they look up to who they thought was, masculine. And trust me, I grew up on Snoop. I know Snoop had on the MTV Awards, he had women on leashes. So they went from that to this. They took someone who was a toxic male, okay, who was a toxic man. He sure did exhibit some serious toxic shit. And it's just not, excuse my language, he did exhibit some serious toxic behavior, abusive behavior towards women. And they turned into this, wearing French tips. And they took Pharrell, who, was the crush of many girls, including me. Skateboarder, because that was me, into this. They both sold out. Okay. So that's what they're using for propaganda. Okay. And this is being referred to as toxic. Ladies, what do you find more attractive? And even if you're a transgender female, if you're a straight transgender female, this is what they're turning our boys into. Or this. Or this. Or this. Or is this what we're looking forward to? And this is what we're looking forward to for our sons. And that And to mess up the boys even further, to cause more confusion. I don't know if many of you seen this. When I saw it, I really thought I was going to, like, please God, take me off this earth.
Hey, Dad.
Yeah, bud?
I think I got my period.
Yes, you just heard that. Yeah.
Let me help you.
Oh, thanks. Thanks. Yeah,
Sorry.
I don't know if I can watch this whole thing.
Yeah. Thanks.
Oh.
Just part of growing up. Come here.
Supposedly this I can't even talk. I haven't been able to watch the whole thing. That's nothing good.
Oh, my period.
Me too.
Yeah. Supposedly, yeah, I've had enough of that. Supposedly, I'd rather look at this. Thank you. Supposedly, yeah, that commercial was made by those people to, that commercial was made by those people for, to help, for inclusivity, to help, so people could understand more, so men could have more compassion towards women. Yeah, no, I don't buy it. I don't buy it one damn bit. Okay. It is to cause gender confusion. It is to cause gender confusion. And quite honestly, what happens when all this estrogen's being taken in by these boys, by these babies, male babies, and then as teenagers, it messes them up hormonally. Their testosterone's very low, estrogen's very high, and then they end up confused as heck. Then they see commercials, they see commercials, and this is not being promoted. This is definitely not being promoted. It is called toxic. And you have this being promoted and being told it's great and fabulous and this is what you should be. What happens? The breakup of the family, right? Dad's not being there. No dads at all. Procreation. This does not procreate. Does not. This is not going to procreate. It's going to break up the family, make it less likely to honestly be straight. It's like the erasure of the straight male. It really is. It's erasing the straight male. Therefore, and it's not to say a gay male can't be a good father. I have two extremely great gay male friends who adopted children, and they bring tears to my heart how amazing they are to these kids. Especially one of them is a special needs child. It brings tears to me. Are people like that needed? Of course, they needed, they're wanted. It's fantastic. A loving home's a loving home. But what's leading up to all of this confusion? Why is it 5,000% higher in the past 10 years alone? Why is gender confusion skyrocketed 5,000%? Check it out from my last video that I made. Why is it so high? All the reasons I just showed you is why. And it boils down to social engineering and the erasure of masculinity. Okay? So I'll see you guys in the next video to talk about the masculization of females. What's going on with the girls, and this considering femininity to be toxic. Okay? And come from a tomboy, still am a tomboy. Okay? So I'm out. Bye. We got the victory. Okay, we got this. And yeah, we got the victory, y'all. Okay, so stay tuned for the next video. Please share this video. I know it's long, but it is much needed. We cannot stay in the dark anymore. Our future is being erased, and our future is in our children. And look what they're doing to our children. Okay? All right. Much love. Peace out.